All right, the tip of the week this week is turn above the gate and let the forces be with you. Through a little, almost a little physics lesson per se, along with our ski tip. And basically, if you're making circular turns like this down the hill, then the centrifugal force will continue to move to the outside of your arc as you progress through the turn. Of course, gravity is always just going down the hill. But towards the bottom of the turn, when they align together, you've got two forces now trying to really pull you down the hill and your skis. So it is sometimes harder to hold the turn and keep the carve going down the bottom of the turn, and we can skid out. It is much easier in theory to hold or arc a turn up here where the forces are actually in your favor. However, it's a little more tricky and a little more, you have to be able to willing to commit to the turn, roll the ski up on edge to a high edge angle platform to push against. And the speed increases because we're skiing clean and arcing the turn. So a lot of you, unfortunately, kind of take it the safe side and actually skid the top of the turn and try to carve the bottom, which is completely opposite to what physics tells us is the easier way to go. What we rather see is more of a comma-shaped turn and getting the turn done. And if you imagine the gate would be somewhere, let's say here, so we're coming in and getting the turn done above the apex of the turn, which is the turniest part of the turn where the most direction change happens, is above the panel. We're passing the panel here with our direction already done. We're going straight to the next apex. We're actually look like in here we're carving and bringing the shape of the turn back to the panel, but we're getting it done above. So you have to get away from the mentality of I'm turning around the gate. We're really actually turning around a piece of snow more like here, and we just happen to be finishing the turn by the gate. Some of you in slalom are kind of still reaching when we cross block because your apex, where you're turning around the pole, so you're reaching over to hit that pole. You can see here, if you turn above that and you complete the turn as you're going by it, that pole would be in your way, so you would cross block it without reaching. But the other issue is if you are trying to do too much below the gate, you basically you load up the ski below the gate. You get a big rebound. Loading up meaning a lot of reverse camber, bending of the ski, and it could launch you. So let's take a look at Alex here for an example of what we're talking about. Here he comes into this hairpin, and we discussed this in inspection. We needed to make sure we had direction done exiting the hairpin. We needed a strong exit, and he kind of ran a little straight. So here he is hitting the middle two poles and had to really kind of turn below, and that set him up going a little too straight into the next gate. Here he is there hitting that gate. His skis are going this way, and he would have preferred them going this way with direction done. So what does that mean? He had to come in here and really hook up what we call below the gate, really making most of his turn below the gate. His turn is a little more of a J shape. So because of that, ski's loaded up big down there, a lot of forces he's working against, but loaded up the skis on him, and when he released, he went for a ride. That's pretty cool. A little jet turn action. There he is. He tried to pull it out. Did a good job. Got that hand, the outside hand there, came in. He tried to even cross block. He was not done yet, he thought. or you want to get that gate away from other parts of his body. But here he goes, and almost pulled it out. Came close. But, you know, that's the other problem with if we're making turns below the gate. A lot of times it's not as dramatic as that, but we come through, the ski loads up. We get a nice little rebound. It feels like we're fast, but it is actually slow. So get it on above, and it'll help out a lot. But let's check out the rest of his run. I'm sure there's some good stuff to see here. It's kind of one of those days. Alex was certainly into air that run. But, you know, that can happen. When the course gets a little ruddy, there will be a little bump coming out. And although he caught some air, you can see him sucking it up, knees come up, and absorbing it, and getting the skis down as fast as we can. We want to maintain contact as much as we can. All right, well, speaking of maintaining contact, you know, Alex probably didn't mean to do that, but he's starting to turn on the inside ski, picking up the outside ski and laying it down. Sometimes it happens, but we want to try to avoid it. But here we are in this turn here. Got some direction done, you can see, obviously in the front of the boot. I like the way his, you know, more or less both arms are out, reaching out. The inside arm is, you know, reaching forward also. Helps him really, you know, avoid any type of rotation, which a lot of you have when you're reaching the crossbar. It rotates the upper body, which takes the hips out from the angulated position, flattens the ski, and we skid. So, as I told a bunch of you, you know, imagine there is another gate on the inside, clearing both. And you can see he clears, and look where those hands are, right out in front. All right. I like the fact he came in here, did a double pole plant. I'm a big fan of double pole plants, especially on pitches, because it helps us square up, helps us get in the front of the boot. You know, we need every trick in the book, and we need single and double pole plants. Another thing we talk about is, comes in here, block and plant. He blocks and a quick pole plant. And that's really just one motion. Some of you guys come in, you know, you hit the gate and maybe you push the gate down, or you just, you know, for whatever reason a hand falls or delayed, or, you know, pole plant is slow. And if we can come in here and block and plant quickly like that, it allows us to get recentered like he is there, hips up a little bit more over the boots there, and get in position in the driver's seat to make this next turn. And there he is again. You can obviously see in the front of the boot, nice ankle flexion, both skis rolled up nicely, parallel position of the skis. You know, fairly level, we can see. Just really, you know, moving down the hill. That's a good looking turn. Blocks out there and a quick little pole plant. We get a sense there already. Obviously, he's getting direction done. Apex out, you know, really his turn. Apex is above the panel, above the gate, I mean, and we can see he's coming through with direction there and bringing it back to the gate. So, good demo there. If we can only keep those skis on the ground.